Pokemon Origins was based on the games Pokemon Red and Blue, but we haven't had any series based on Pokemon Gold and Silver, or have we? You see, in 2001 saw the release of Pocket Monsters Crystal, Raikou, Legend of Thunder, which was originally a TV movie. It later was adapted as 3 episodes in 2005 for the Western release in a spin-off series called Pokemon Chronicles. Pokemon Chronicles was a Western release that is a collection of various OVAs that individually released in Japan from 1998 to 2004. However, today I'm exclusively looking at The Legend of Thunder. As it was a spin-off, the TV movie did not follow Ash, but it followed Jimmy and Marina. These characters may look familiar, as they are based on the playable characters in the second generation Pokemon games. Fun fact, this is the first time that any character based on the game's protagonists have appeared besides Ash, who is loosely based on Red. Did this TV movie deliver as Pokemon Origins did? Well no, you see this was made in 2001, so it was in a weird position where this is one of the first spin-offs not based on Ash. This left OLM to figure out how to deliver this movie. Do they make it more related to the games, perhaps making it more darker? Or do they stick to the same formula that they have been using for the past 200 odd episodes? It seemed that they really couldn't decide, but it's more so sticking to the same formula just with different characters. You see, unlike Pokemon Origins, the logic of original games goes out the window. I mean, listen to this.
That song's a lullaby! It should be asleep by now!
Beedrill's wings beat so fast, they erase all sound waves before they reach its ears!
The actual plot isn't based on the games. We are following Jimmy quite far into his Pokemon adventure, as his Cyndaquil he obtained from New Barktown is fully evolved into Typhlosion. I like this, as we do not have to see the same type of story we have seen with Ash, who aims to bond and get stronger with their Pokemon. Instead, we are thrown into Jimmy's already ongoing adventure. Additionally, the relationships between the characters are already established, and honestly it flowed quite well between all of them, even though we have been dropped right in. I think character-wise, we don't have anything special. Jimmy is a typical go-lucky trainer. Marina is also very similar, and then you have Vincent, the simp. What is nice is that all 3 of these trainers have a starter from Gold and Silver, and you can tell they have grown together by how they are with each other. As for the main plot, we have a duo from Team Rocket called Attila and Hun, pun intended. And depending if you watch the dub or the original, Hun is either a woman or a dude.
Attila's the world's foremost wrangler. Now isn't that right?
Anyways, throughout the whole movie, it is literally them attempting to capture Raikou again and again. As you could imagine, the trainers we follow find themselves caught up in this and aim to stop Team Rocket. Sounds very familiar to the plot of almost every Pokemon episode. There wasn't too much more to that. Jimmy tries to befriend and reason with Raikou, like Ash has done with many legendaries before. There was opportunities for the movie to take a different direction, however it did not take this up, and we was left to a familiar style to what has been done previously. Speaking of Raikou, he is the only legendary beast without a feature-length movie, at least by this point. Even before this release, both Entei and Suicune had their own movies, so obviously Raikou had to have something. When I was younger, I found Raikou actually more interesting in the games than the other 2, as we had no on-screen appearance of him for Generation 2, until Chronicles released a few years later. So to the child me, he felt more mysterious, and he was the one I was determined to catch in the game. Speaking of Team Rocket, in this movie we see Attila and Hun wearing some unique Team Rocket gear. We do actually see this duo in another movie, Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, although very briefly. The duo isn't exactly a standout when it comes to other Team Rocket duos that we have seen, but the dub has some questionable dialogue for the 2.
Your friend shouldn't be making fun of Caterpies. I used to collect them, and they're very sweet creatures.
Attila isn't the only one with questionable dubbing.
You rock, you rule!
With Pokemon, I feel like the majority of us would almost always watch it in dub, as we grew up with it on TV. So I think it is important to look at the dub more so for this movie. As with most Pokemon early dubbed, it is made a bit more cheesy. What 4Kids did a lot with this is change the music, and it is up to you to think if it made it better or worse. But it did add a lot of over-the-top sound effects to the TV movie.
Why would I be afraid?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because you kinda like me?
Oh, come on!
So we have established that really, it is just a kid-friendly Pokemon Origins. But there are some good points to it. For instance, this is the first time we follow someone who isn't Ash, and after 200 episodes, that was a big thing. What I liked about it when I first watched it is that it gave screen time to more Johto Pokemon, especially the starter Pokemon evolutions, which at the time you rarely saw, as Ash had all 3 that never fully evolved. When I first watched this, I was 10, and it was cool to see my character use the same Pokemon I did. At least what this TV movie does do is expand the Pokemon world. We can see all these new characters and know the Pokemon world does not just revolve around Ash and Pikachu. It would have been nice to see more of these characters with more episodes about them. I mean, I guess we did see them in one of the most recent Pokemon Journeys episodes, even though it was just in the background, so at least they are not forgotten. Perhaps this created the eventual pathway to Pokemon Origins and all of the other series that were based on the Pokemon games. Who knows? But this certainly is the first spin-off to dip its toes in something quite different from a main series. What do you think of Legend of Raikou? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you in the next video.